Hey guys, welcome back. This is lesson 6 of our Keys Worship, our Lifeline Keys Worship training program. And today we're going to kind of review over some of the major chords or the major arpeggios that we talked about last lesson, and we're going to introduce some major and minor chords in this session. So it's going to be fun. Hey guys, welcome back. So this is kind of a review of what we talked about last lesson. So Kristen kind of told you how to structure an arpeggio. So if we were going to structure an arpeggio in the key of C, we'd start with the first note, the third note, and the fifth note, and we'd go up and down the keyboard. And like she said, this kind of stretches out your hands so you're used to, playing chords more often. So if you did the challenge like last week, you should be able to do this little exercise where you can find the arpeggio in each scale that we talked about. So that's the C scale, the F scale, the G scale, the B flat scale, and the D scale. So that's 5 scales that you should be able to find the arpeggio for. So I'm going to kind of review that now, make sure you got that correct. So here's the C scale arpeggio. And here's the F scale arpeggio. Here's the G scale arpeggio. Here's the B flat scale arpeggio. And then here's the D scale arpeggio. So today we're going to kind of build on what Kristen talked about last week, and we're going to talk about chords. Now, chords are the most important part about becoming a keys player because chords are what fills up the moment. They're pretty much your job as a keys player is to do chords and to make sure that they're structured properly. So we're going to talk about, we're going to most specifically talk about the root position chord in each scale. Now, the root position in each scale is the 1. So if you think about in the key of C, the root position is the C. So if I was going to structure a C major chord, I would find the first note, which is C. I'd find the third note, which is E. I'd find the fifth note, which is G. And then I'd finish it off with the octave above. Now this is a C major triad, or a C major chord. Now that's the biggest part about becoming a keys player is being able to identify chords and being able to structure chords properly. So so a triad is a group. It's a group of 3 pitches that are members of a scale and are each separated by the interval of a major third. So in a triad, when you think about it, so here's the 1, a major third, and then a major third, and there's your triad. So here, that's the most basic type of chord is a triad. They're just nice and simple and kind of blocky, so they get the job done. So this is also classified as a major chord. And if you refer to your vocab sheet, a major chord is a triad consisting of a specific order of the first, third, and fifth notes within a given major scale played simultaneously to create a vibrant, happy tone. So this just sounds happy. It just sounds nice and pleasant. So this is the most basic type of chords. So we're going to kind of go into the difference between a major chord and a minor chord, which is a little bit more dark and gloomy. So a minor chord, based on your vocab sheet, is a major triad with a lowered third by a half step. So here's the third in the key of C. If we lower that by 1/2 step, like what Kristen told you about last week, we get E flat. So, and then these chords generally have a dark and mysterious tone. So if you hear the difference between, here's a C major triad, okay, and the difference between this chord and then this chord sounds a little bit more dark. And it's the difference between a half step on the third note in the scale. So, kind of what we want to talk about this week. We want to make sure that you can find the root position chord in each scale that we've talked about. So Kristen showed you the arpeggios for the key of C, the key of F, key of G, key of B flat, and the key of D. So now our job is we have to use those arpeggios that she taught you and build them and make chords out of them. So here's how we make a C major root position chord. Notice it's the exact same notes in our arpeggio, but they're just played simultaneously instead of in a progression. Instead of going and finishing out, we end up going. There is a C major root position chord. Now, we also want to make sure that you can do this in different octaves too. So if you can do it there, you should be able to do it here and here. And it's the exact same chord, it's the exact same thing. So make sure you refer to your root position major chords chart and your root position minor chords chart in order to figure out these chords. And that should tell you exactly what notes are involved in each chord and what notes that just play along with it. So what we want you to do now is, for your challenge this week, try to find the major and minor root position chords in each scale each key that we've talked about earlier. So for C, here's your C major triad, and it's triad because it's 1, 2, 3. It involves 3 notes. 3 notes. Just triad, like tricycle means 3. So triad just means 3 notes combined. So make sure you take that chord. And so what did we talk about earlier? We said that in order to make a major chord or minor chord, we lower this third note, the middle note, and then now we have a minor chord. So for your challenge this week, make sure that you take all the keys that we've talked about, the key of C, the key of F, key of G, B flat, and D, and you find not only the root position major chord, but also the root position minor chord. And please make sure you refer to your chord charts that we put in your folder for that, because it will definitely help you with this challenge. And then I think that you have just completed lesson 6 into becoming a lifeline worship keyboard player. Great job, guys.